Welcome to the Shakedown Sound Series.
In this series, we're going to share with you envelope filters by some of our favorite manufacturers.
Join us on this long, strange trip. Today, that Shakedown sound is being brought to you by the Resotron Tracking Filter from Pigtronix.
Right. And this one's a little bit different than all the other envelope filters we've looked at, really. And
right.
I'm not going to lie, one of the last ones in the series, because we've kind of been like trying to wrap our head around it.
Right.
So I think we did it. I think we can explain it. I give you some ideas of what it can do. It's a nice, right off the get-go, you have your high-pass, bandpass, and low-pass filter.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. But then, and you have your up and your down, which I think we finally understand, sort of. And then you also have this pitch setting, which typically an envelope filter would play off of how hard you hit the guitar, how hard you play, how much the envelope filter trips. They put this pitch setting in that follows you no matter where you play and doesn't matter how hard you play.
Which makes me wonder if that's why they called it a tracking filter.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then it also can get into some self-oscillation kind of things.
Some pretty wild stuff.
Yeah. So, very cool pedal. We always start these episodes with sounds from the Doodah Man. So, can I get the sounds from the Doodah Man? So, here's where we have it for that. Clicker on.
It can. It's a little different animal at times, but definitely...
Yeah, it's a little different than some of them.
The single note stuff was pretty close to what you've done other filters. It's the chords, I think, the sensitivity of... You can hit it as hard as you want, and it doesn't really...
We don't get as much of the... I think you said swirl earlier, like that traveling through.
Mm-hmm.
And we played around. We spent some time trying to get what we wanted out of for that. Although I'm not sure that that's necessarily the application that I would go for.
Right.
Like if all I wanted was the sound from the Doodah Man.
We've got a few of those over there.
Yeah, this is kind of overkill for that.
Yeah.
I think if you're getting in and you want to experiment with some stuff, you jump in here.
Yeah, I liked it, and a couple of the videos I watched on it were great.
So
more for the novice filter guy, me.
So I'm still trying to figure out what the best way to approach this one and go through it. We have it in the low pass filter right now. We have it in the up setting. And so let's real quick talk some knobs. Like the first knob here, cutoff, and I really like the way he has these labeled. And shout out to Dave Coltai for he has a really nice video on this pedal too, where he does a really great job of explaining it, I think, in ways that you can...
It's almost like he designed it.
Yeah. Oh, well, ways that you can understand the filter too, because a lot of people don't.
He used some technical jargon in the circuitry, but when it came to the knobs, he really explained it well.
So the cutoff, basically, in a low pass filter, wherever you have that, everything above it's gonna is going to come through. So we can even show that knob right now. I can take it all the way down. And so everything above that line is coming through. Or do we do reference now?
Sure. 95 PRS standard 24 through the Tyler JT 22 dreaded D minor chord. Pretty hot pickups.
Yeah, I'm wondering if those hot pickups are going to make...
We'll find out.
Probably...
Or the...
So with the top, it's very trebly because you're cutting all the lows out.
Right.
The other thing, throughout the series, we've talked several times on the low verse, the up verse down. And so the way he explained it is like wherever I have this set, it's cutting the lows, everything below that out. And then if you have it in the up position, it starts there and shoots up. If we switch it to the down position, it starts high and comes down to where you have the cutoff set. And so even just to show, like if you play a little bit, I'll switch back. We'll get it in a place where this works and then...
Is it on?
I feel like you have to
Hit it pretty hard.
really smack at the trip sometimes. So that's the cut off the up down thing a little bit, and we're going to come back to the pitch here in a minute. The peak is kind of the cue of it. The glide knob does nothing right now, so we're going to leave that alone. We'll come back to that when we get to the pitch. And then the sensitivity is kind of how hard you have to hit it before the envelope trips. So maybe even I'll let you play that little riff again. I'll run the high or the peak knob a little bit and then run the sensitivity a little bit.
I think Flipper was in there somewhere.
Do you find when that was up higher it tripped faster?
I think so.
Without. So yeah, the way the peak knob is set, if you get all the way up, it does go into self oscillation, which is really wild because if you go all the way up and you get into self oscillation, then you can kind of tune the self oscillation with the cutoff. And so I'm going to turn this all the way down so it doesn't start on the high one. And we'll just go there once. Right. That's what it sounds like. It's awesome.
Is that called a penny whistle, pitch whistle? Something like
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's people.
In case you're doing scores for cartoons or...
Yeah, somebody has a use for it. But there's a cool thing. Again, when we get over to the pitch, we'll talk about. We could do it now, but we'll wait a minute on that. So, I mean, basic layout of it, we're trying to keep this one kind of short. If you want the deep dive, maybe go check out Dave's video.
Great video.
We did the up and we did the down. That was the low pass filter. If I push this all the way up, we're in the high pass filter. I'll let you play and move some of these around, see if we can't. It's going to be AM radio-ish. All right, so very AM radio sounding. Here's the thing. I think if you start to think about this, it starts to make sense. I'm going to switch it. We're going to leave the peak right there in the middle. I'm going to switch it to low pass and turn the low pass all the way down. And you have to, I mean, it took us a while to wrap our head around this. Because you're thinking, okay, low pass is going through, you have it all the way down. So is it just going to be like... Right. But it's not. I'm going to let you play and just roll that knob all the way up. And then before you stop, I'm going to switch to high pass and do the same thing.
Okay.
So the other knobs might not have been at the best place for that. But what I'm hoping you see is like, even when you take the low pass all the way up to the top, it's like where you're starting at. And you're letting everything below that go through. And it makes sense. I felt like it made sense when we ran them like that. And so as you take the high pass filter up to the top, it gets really AM because you're cutting out everything below that. All right, the other one on here would be the bandpass filter. Bandpass filter takes like this narrow swath around where the cutoff is. So if we do that real quick, and maybe we'll come back and do that more, but maybe just run that same knob the same way so we can hear what a bandpass sounds like. So wouldn't it be cool if you could do that? Take that cutoff knob and just turn it back and forth while you're playing, because bandpass is basically like your wah pedal.
And I think if you use the Express Yourself pedal, you probably could.
Let me grab it. All right, so we plugged in the Mission EP1 rattlesnake cable. We are on the bandpass mode, and just real quick to show. So nice. So it kind of does that wah pedal thing,
right?
But if you switch it down to like low pass, it's still with this cutoff switch is reacting with that. So instead of having to bend down and turn that around, you get a little bit of the same kind of control here. One thing we noticed, we're not sure if it's just with the, I don't think it's with the Mission, but heel all the way back
cuts out,
which is kind of cool if you bounce back and forth on that while you're playing.
It's like a kill switch.
Yeah, almost like a tremolo effect there. All right, so you can do expression pedal with it. All right, now what have we not done? We haven't done the pitch.
Right. We have not done the pitch or the blend or the oscillate.
So the blend, good call, is basically, long story short, he put a Pigtronix Philosopher's Tone, which I think is one of the greatest names of a pedal ever. The Philosopher Tone compressor pedal. He put that circuit on the blend, so you have like a boost and compressor to add to it, because a lot of times you'll get a volume drop or whatever, and if you want to boost that up a little bit.
Not with this, you don't.
Right.
He was playing like a Les Paul through everything and put a Strat on and compensated with that.
But I mean, we can show it real quick.
Yeah.
Where's kind of a low pass? We were kind of in that area, I think, right? So, and I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's hard to find a good tone in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety. It has a good palette.
Right. All right. So, the pitch.
Buy this. Oh, not that kind of pitch.
Yeah. So I hit the pitch, and now it's going to track with you, and it doesn't affect. How hard you play doesn't affect that, but it's going to take me a little bit while you play to kind of dial in some sounds. So I think with this one, you just play and I'll try and dial some stuff.
Because the pitch is where the glide comes in for the first time.
Right. And so the first time we're seeing the glide, all the way off is going to make it happen really super quick. Mm-hmm. And then if we turn that up, it adds a little bit of space to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold some notes on that. So you hear, if you hold the note, you hear it come in.
Yeah.
If I turn this all the way down, then you get that like quick snappy.
Definitely a keyboard sound. Well, on both of them, but definitely that.
So remember when we turned the filter or the peak all the way up and started to self-oscillate? Well, he liked that sound. This is based off old keyboard. You have to look into the story. It's really cool. So he built in this switch,
yes,
which will make it automatically oscillate, but it only does it when you're playing. So if I push this when Pat starts to play, you'll get the oscillation there too.
Is that what happened when R2 got shot?
That's good.
That brings a whole new meaning to the pew pew sound.
Right. So what's the word we're looking for here?
It's not portabella. It's not portico.
It's not pimento.
Nope.
Portamento.
Portamento. Yes.
Portamento. So that sound when you were playing, as we move the glide up, it changes the portamento on it. So when you hear the initial note and then it goes up to the octave, how long that takes. and just hold some notes and share that again because that is
That is Joe Satriani approved.
that's great. So that's a Resotron.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of fumbled our way through it a little bit, even though we spent a lot of time trying to figure out. And I think what that tells you about this pedal, even with 5 knobs and 2 switches on it, there's a lot in there. Bandpass, high pass, low pass filter, up and down directions on your on the way your filter's going. Got the pitch thing, which is like a whole. This pedal to me, that's the thing.
Oh, it's definitely different than anything. It's like a controllable blue box.
Yeah, like
a ring mod, but you can really control it.
Well, it just even the pitch without the oscillation on it is really, really cool because it gives you that like follows you. You don't doesn't matter how hard. Sometimes with them like they're not tripping on certain frets or something.
Yeah. You're up here and you lose it. And you come up here and it's almost like the octave sometimes.
Right. It's not where you want it.
Right.
And with this, you can play anywhere in the neck. Time. It's there. Depending on what you're trying to do, I think it's really cool for that. And then that oscillate thing, and like another 5 minutes, we could probably have my wife down here yelling at us. So with that, I think that's it.
I think so. I don't know that we forgot anything. You put in the expression pedal. We pushed the oscillation button. We told him how to compressor in there. We told him it sliced, it diced.
Right. It's like the
up down
slap chop commercial. So
that's good.
So this is the part of the episode where we always like to take a moment and just thank everybody that's been watching. Thank you for subscribing, clicking the notification bell, hitting the like button, going out to Instagram or Facebook. Anytime you interact with the show, it really helps us out. We have a new website. We'll pop that down below. Great place to go to watch the series. All the episodes from the series are there in one place. And as of yesterday, the day we're recording this, who knows when this will come out. It'll be a little while probably from this day, but as of yesterday, 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So thanks to everybody that's helped make that happen. We really appreciate it. And
added a new member this week as well, I believe.
Yes.
Membership is growing.
Thank you to our members. Yes. Thanks to the subscribers.
It's all trending in the right direction. All thanks to you.
Right. We appreciate that. Because it's fun. This is fun.
It's
a little overwhelming, but fun. This one's good. So, Pigtronix, the Rotosphere that we did others for that Leslie sound was amazing. They have some cool stuff. And part of Supro's in with them now. Dave owned both, but then I think they just joined with
D'Angelico.
So, props to them. So with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding you, no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear. Especially when it sounds like R2 being shot.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that was.